Hey everyone, this is Cole with today's daily delivery. Now, I know what you're thinking. I am not Tim Fitzgerald. Fitz is on vacation. He is in Las Vegas celebrating his 60th birthday with his wife and some good old fraternity brothers. And not exactly a very opportunistic time for Fitz to go on vacation because there is kind of an important K-State sporting event going on, and that would be K-State baseball. Fitz has entrusted me with the daily deliveries for the next few days. Uh, Mostly going to be talking about K-State baseball. And indeed, on Friday night, Kansas State opened up its super regional action against the Virginia Cavaliers. Virginia coming into this regional as the number 12 overall seed. Now, if you know anything about college baseball, if you know how college baseball's postseason is structured, typically the top 8 national seeds are the seeds where everyone looks at. If you're not a top 8 national seed, typically you'll have to go on the road for super regional action. But because Kansas State defeated Arkansas, the number 5 team in the country in Fayetteville at the Fayetteville Regional, Virginia, who won their regional at home, got to host a super. And Kansas State went on the road to open up super regional play against a Virginia team that has been kind of up and down by Virginia standards. Typically, the Virginia teams of the past have been very good on the mound and maybe not so good at the plate. Not so good at the plate. They're looking for their 4th College World Series in 3 years. But Virginia's typically been a school where pitching is the key component to victory, but not this year for Virginia. They hit a lot of home runs. They hit the ball really hard. They've got a lot of really high averages. And going into this series, the key for Kansas State was going to be keeping Virginia in the yard. When Virginia does not hit home runs, their odds of winning go down significantly. On the flip side, Kansas State, the exact opposite when it comes to offense. They like to put the ball on the ground. They like to take the extra bag. They like to bunt runners over. They like to get stolen bases, and occasionally they'll hit a home run. But all of it is reliant upon good starting pitching. And on Friday night, Kansas State got a very gritty start from their senior ace, Owen Borma. Now, Owen has been up and down, admittedly, throughout the year, entering the game with an ERA just north of 5, but he was really good. He was exceptionally well with runners in scoring position. He limited the Virginia offense to just 2 earned runs in his 5 2/3 innings of work. He left, unfortunately, for Kansas State. Blake Dean came in, gave up a double. Virginia took the lead at 4-3 going into the 7th inning. In the top of the 7th inning, David Bishop, the transfer from TCU, the first baseman who'd only hit 3 home runs coming into the season, belted his 4th home run of the season to make it a 4-4 game. From there, the game would be tied. We moved to the bottom of the 7th inning where Virginia would hit a 3-run home run, take the lead 7-4, and that would be the final score. Now, look, a lot is going to be made of Pete Hughes' decision to not use Tyson Neighbors in the game on Friday night. If you think back, if you've been paying attention to K-State baseball the last 3 seasons, Tyson Neighbors has been a mainstay in that bullpen. He's an All-American. He got 10 outs against Arkansas, which practically sealed the regional for Kansas State after the Hogs would go on to lose to SEMO. But I don't think it was ever in the cards to bring Tyson Neighbors into the game on Friday night. Now, maybe later in the game, maybe instead of a 9 or a 10 out save, maybe a 3 or maybe a 6 out save. That's probably what Tyson Neighbors' limit was on Friday night, simply because Kansas State's going to have to win 2 games anyway. They're not going to be able to get through the regional just winning 1 game, and neither is Virginia. Kansas State ends up dropping the game 7-4. Neighbors does not enter, which means if we do see Tyson Neighbors on Saturday, it's probably going to be an extended role. Kansas State will give the ball to Jackson Wentworth. The right-hander out of Iowa has been arguably Kansas State's most consistent arm all season. After getting hurt his freshman year, he was very, very up and down, to say the least. His his redshirt freshman year, rather. This year, redshirt sophomore season, he skyrocketed up. MLB draft reports will be selected in July's MLB draft. But before then, he gets the ball to try and shut down Virginia in a win or go home game 2 in the Charlottesville Regional. It won't be easy, but if there's any team that can get it done, it's Kansas State. Kansas State has the pitching advantage in this game simply because they have not used their two best pitchers yet. And Virginia will be smelling blood in the water after the game. There was a soundbite that was making its way around social media where a Virginia player maybe dropped a word that you can't say on the radio, but you can say on ESPN. Yeah, he dropped that word and said they were going to beat some, behind. Kansas State, we'll see if they take that bulletin board material to heart or not. We will find out. First pitch is 2 o'clock on Saturday in Charlottesville. Kansas State and Virginia. Winner go home for the Cats. With the win, K-State forces a winner-take-all Game 3. With the loss, Kansas State ends its season, and Virginia moves on to Omaha. Kansas State, only 2 wins away from Omaha, but in order to get the second win, they have to get the first one. That game, 2 o'clock on Saturday. It's going to be a fun one. I don't know if they're going to win, but we're going to find out. So you should watch the game.